Have you ever looked at someone and thought, are they just being friendly? Or is there something more? Something they're not saying out loud? In the world of psychology, attraction is rarely direct. It hides in gestures, glances, and the spaces between words. People may not confess their feelings, but their behavior does. Today, I'll show you the subtle yet powerful signs that reveal when someone is secretly attracted to you, backed by years of psychological research in human behavior studies. And stay with me until the end, because the final sign? It's the one most people overlook, but it reveals everything. 1. Micro-expressions reveal the truth. Let's start with one of the most fascinating truths from the world of psychology. Micro-expressions never lie. These are tiny, split-second facial expressions that flash across someone's face before they have a chance to hide or control them. They reveal the raw, unfiltered emotion underneath, and they happen faster than the blink of an eye. So what should you watch for? Imagine you're talking, and they suddenly smile. But it's not just a polite smile. It starts in the eyes, a softness, a crinkle at the corners, followed by a slight blush or a quick glance away. That's not performance. That's instinct. Or maybe they look surprised when you say something vulnerable, just for a split second. Then they recover. That surprise? It's a sign that your presence hits them in a deeper emotional place. As a psychologist, I've studied hundreds of face-to-face interactions, and time after time, the most powerful signs of attraction are not what people say. It's what their face shows when they don't know you're watching. Because the truth is, you can fake your words, you can even fake a laugh, but you cannot fake what your nervous system does in the presence of someone you're secretly drawn to. 2. They mirror your movements without knowing it. One of the most quietly powerful signs of hidden attraction is something called mirroring. And no, it's not just a coincidence. When someone is deeply tuned into you, emotionally, mentally, even subconsciously, their body starts to copy yours without even realizing it. This happens because of a neurological system in the brain called mirror neurons. These neurons fire when we observe someone we feel connected to. It's nature's way of saying, I'm syncing with you. I feel what you feel. So you cross your legs, and a few seconds later, so do they. You lean in a little. They mirror the movement. You touch your face, and unconsciously, they do too. It's not mimicry, it's bonding. As a psychologist, I've seen this play out in romantic settings, therapy rooms, even first-time meetings. Mirroring isn't just behavior, it's biology revealing emotional alignment. When someone is secretly attracted to you, they don't just listen, they lean in, emotionally and physically. So the next time you're with them, take a step back. Watch the rhythm of the interaction. If their body starts to echo yours, your presence means more to them than they're letting on. 3. They find reasons to be near you, even without talking. One of the most telling signs of secret attraction isn't found in words. It's found in presence. When someone is drawn to you but too afraid or unsure to express it, they'll still try to be close, not necessarily in obvious ways, but in quiet, strategic moments. Psychology calls this the proximity principle. We gravitate toward the people we're emotionally attached to, often without realizing it. You might notice they show up where you are, at work, in group settings, at events you casually mentioned. They may not initiate conversation, but they'll sit nearby, linger just long enough, or position themselves so they can glance your way without seeming obvious. It's not stalking, it's subtle orbiting, because to them, even being around you brings comfort, excitement, and emotional stimulation. In my years of studying human behavior, I've found this to be one of the strongest silent signs of hidden desire. People will find 100 little ways to be near the ones they're secretly drawn to. And the most beautiful part? They often don't even know they're doing it. 4. Nervous energy and fidgeting. Attraction doesn't always show up as confidence. Sometimes it shows up as nervous energy. When someone is secretly attracted to you, their body often reacts before their brain can catch up. This is what we call a physiological response to emotional arousal, a fancy term for that fluttery, restless feeling that shows up when you're near someone who matters more than you're ready to admit. They may start fidgeting with their hands, tapping their fingers, adjusting their clothes, or playing with their jewelry. You might even catch them fixing their hair a little too often or shifting their posture the moment you look their way. Why? Because their nervous system is in fight or flirt mode. Their heart rate increases, their skin may feel warmer, and all that emotional charge needs somewhere to go, so it leaks out through these little, restless behaviors. I've seen it time and time again in therapy rooms, interviews, even couples who haven't admitted their feelings yet. That awkward tension, it's not discomfort, it's emotional electricity. And here's the truth. When someone is cool and casual with everyone else, but becomes visibly flustered around you, that's not a coincidence. That's attraction trying to stay hidden and failing. 5. Subtle jealousy even when they hide it. Jealousy is often misunderstood. It's not always loud, possessive, or toxic. In fact, when someone is secretly attracted to you, jealousy tends to show up in quiet, carefully disguised ways. They might act a little distant when you mention someone new. Their smile may falter, just briefly, when you talk about another person's attention or affection, or they might throw in a playful jab, a teasing comment, one that hides discomfort behind humor. This is what psychologists call concealed emotional threat, when the fear of losing someone you care about triggers a subtle protective response. See, they can't tell you how they really feel, not yet, so that jealousy has nowhere to go. It turns inward, or it leaks out through sarcasm, sudden quietness, or an unexplained change in mood. And here's what I've learned after years of watching human dynamics unfold. The people who care the most often say the least. So if someone seems oddly sensitive when others show you attention, or if they react just a little too strongly to something small, it's not about what you said, it's about what they haven't said yet. 6. They remember the tiny things you say. One of the strongest signs of hidden attraction isn't shown through big gestures. It's revealed in the small things they never forget. When someone is secretly drawn to you, their brain treats your words differently. Psychologically, it's called selective attention, and it means they're listening more closely, more emotionally, more intimately than they do with anyone else. They'll remember that you like your coffee with 2 sugars, that you mentioned a childhood dream once in passing, that your favorite song reminds you of your grandmother. These aren't just memories, they're emotional bookmarks, and here's why it matters. The human brain filters out most of what it hears each day. So when someone recalls even your tiniest details, it means their mind, and more importantly, their heart, has made room for you. I've seen this time and time again in emotional analysis. People only remember what emotionally matters. So if they bring up things you barely recall saying, if they notice when you change your tone or mood, even slightly, that's not just attentiveness. That's affection, disguised as memory. 7. The twist. They avoid eye contact, but always know where you are. We often think that attraction means eye contact, locked gazes, deep stares. But sometimes, the truth is the opposite. When someone is secretly attracted to you, especially if they're shy, insecure, or unsure of your feelings, they may actually avoid looking at you directly. But here's the twist. Even though they avoid your eyes, they always know exactly where you are. This is what we call visual attention bias in psychology. The brain prioritizes the presence of someone we're emotionally invested in, even when we're trying not to show it. They may glance when you're not looking, quickly look away when you turn toward them. They might focus intensely on something else, just to not look at you too much. And yet, if you move across the room, they shift their posture. If you laugh, their body responds. If someone else approaches you, they notice immediately, because their focus is always on you, whether they admit it or not. I've watched this happen in counseling rooms, classrooms, even crowded social spaces. That quiet avoidance, it's not disinterest, it's self-protection. Because sometimes when the feelings run deepest, people hide their eyes, hoping you won't see what their heart is screaming. Attraction rarely shouts. More often it whispers, in fleeting glances, nervous habits, and quiet proximity. If you learn to listen to these subtle signals, you'll see what others miss, the hidden language of the heart. So next time you wonder if someone feels more than friendship, remember these signs. Because often, the most meaningful connections are the ones we don't say out loud. If this video made you think of someone special, share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the fascinating world of psychology and human connection. Until next time, stay curious and keep reading between the lines.